when I left the military in 2009, I had a very high level job. I was the chief of staff at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. I did that for 2 years. And just like I was an aide de camp for a 4-star general who was the NATO and U.S. European commander, and I worked on the peace process in the Middle East when he was the special envoy under Bush, I had this very high level job for 2 years where I traveled around the country, around the world, met with Fortune 500 CEOs. And when I was asked what I wanted to do next by Tom Donahue, who was the president of the chamber, I wanted to find my way back to service. And I saw this problem that existed. When I was in the Marine Corps, a lot of young people who I spoke to about their transition shared with me that they didn't know what they wanted to do next. When I was the chief of staff of the chamber meeting with these CEOs, they would say they loved to hire veterans. In 2011, so 2 years after I transitioned, when Tom Donahue asked that question, I put those two things together.
Isn't that amazing though? That's a God shot?
Right.
Right? I mean, you're in the Chamber of Commerce, so you're surrounded by business and you're hearing all this stuff. And you just came from a place where you know that veterans are transitioning and having a difficult time, and you saw that need and you're filling it.
Right. And not only that, at the time in 2011, unemployment for veterans was 10% nationally. For veterans under the age of 24, it was 30%. And here we are in the middle of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we have young men and women coming back not knowing what they were going to do next, and employers who needed the talent not hiring them. Well, that one thing led to the next. I ran 2 other national nonprofits, and then about 3.5 years ago, I saw a problem that I thought needed to be addressed too. Much like when I started hiring our heroes in 2011, we created a military-friendly movement. If you fast forward to 2022, unemployment for veterans is at an all-time low. There's a massive skills gap in America, 10.5 million unfilled jobs, but people are still talking about veterans as if they're broken and they're not providing value in the workforce, when the truth is veteran unemployment has been lower than civilian unemployment for the last 10 years. So what I saw were a confluence of nonprofits across the country painting this narrative, a broken veteran narrative, when I recognize there are challenges.
So why are they doing that? Just to raise money for their nonprofit?
Oh, absolutely. Like, sympathy and pity sells.
Listen, if you want sympathy, it's between syphilis in the dictionary.
Well,
go on.
The truth is a vast majority of us are thriving as a result of our service and not in spite of it. So we saw this problem, the broken veteran narrative, and it's influencing young people right now. The propensity for young people to serve in our military is at an all-time low. In the history of the all-volunteer force, at 9%. 62% of young people in America think that every service member leaving the military, every veteran, will have some form of a psychological disorder. So what is
the correct stats on that?
On what?
How many people come back with a mental health disorder?
Well, it's not 62%. And listen, these things.
Well, I don't want you to give.
Well, I don't know the exact number, and I don't think anyone knows the exact number.
And I agree. But if it's not 62%, give me your best guesstimate based on your expertise.
Well, if I look at a scale of people who are veterans in society, in the workforce, and the way I talk about it is 90% of us are doing okay or thriving. It's the 5 or 10% that we have to lift up, our brothers and sisters who are struggling. And what I'm saying is I had my own struggles too.
Do you know how beautiful that is, how you just said that? It's like, that's just no man left behind. That's just what you guys were taught. That's just part of your DNA.
Well, that is who we are. And listen, the realization is when I was in the military, when I was a United States Marine, it was the most thriving time in my life because I had 5 things. So this is what ZeroMils is focused on. When we were in the military, my brother, Paul Cuccinata, who I've known for 20 years, the co-founder of ZeroMils, and I were thriving. We've known each other for 30 years because we had 5 things. We had meaningful employment. We had a sense of purpose in our work through service. We had a connected community, a tribe. The Marine Corps is a tribe, our brothers and sisters. We took care of our health and well-being. Name another employer in America that gives you an hour to an hour and a half every day to take care of your physical health, which leads to good mental health. And we were filling our kit bags up. There's a saying in the Marine Corps, when you find something good, you laminate it, you put it in your kit bag, and you take it to the field. Those are the things that we need in our life to constantly seek self-improvement, education, training, certification, being a mentor, being a mentee. Our company is focused on giving every veteran what they need to thrive outside of service. As soon as they transition, we shouldn't be saying you're entitled to be a veteran. We earn the title, soldier, sailor, Marine, airman, guardian, sentinel. We must earn the title veteran. And we must seek out these 5 things in our lives because we had them in the military. People who are struggling, whether it's when they come out of the military or later in their lives, in transition, in careers, or moving houses, or in divorces, all these things, they still need to focus on these 5 things. And everyone wants to talk about the employment piece. A job is not the only thing we have in our lives. We need those other 4 things too, Rich.
We're out of time. Please subscribe on YouTube, click the thumbs up, and leave a comment. Please subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify and leave a rating and a review. And share the We're Out of Time podcast with others you know who will get value out of it. See you next Tuesday.